principle of the universe, like space, matter, time. So as I speak to you, I'll put my hand out that way. We've got a space here between us. These are all constructs of the universe. So the question then is what necessitated it? So if we're to argue there is no universe, but it came into existence, so by definition what we're saying, something has caused it. So does that thing, whichever has caused it, does it have an ability to think? Does it have knowledge? Does it have a will? Now, everything that begins to exist has a cause. So we can look at the only thing which can possibly be an uncaused cause has created the universe.
So in that argument then what created the creator?
Right. So that's a good question. So what happened, which is a common response given. But the point then is if you continue to ask who created the creator, that would go on ad infinitum, which means that the problem of something referred to as infinite regress. That means if you get an infinite past chain of events, then you would not even be in the present because it goes on forever. And then if you don't have a starting point, you wouldn't come in the present.
So by your definition then, was the creator created when he created the earth, the universe?
The universe, by our understanding, is created by a creator who by definition is beyond creation and is not contingent upon anything. So like I said to you, if you're saying, okay, but what about the creator? Where does he come from? The problem with that asking that question is that if you keep on asking this, who created that creator? Who created that creator? Who created that will go on forever. That's what you call infinite regression. Meaning that will never, and then if it goes on forever, there will never be a starting point, and there's no starting point, we wouldn't come into the present.
But that contradicts your statement in relation to the universe about there not being, the starting point. Could it have just come about?
No, but it doesn't contradict. What I've tried to show to you is what are the other possibilities that a universe came into existence.
There's obviously to be fair, I'm no scientist. So
no, that's fine.
But there is the Big Bang theory of everything, happening in that sort of explosive moment.
Yeah, but what I'm asking you to reflect upon, what initiated that explosive moment? So what I've tried to reason with you, did that explosive moment come about by itself?
And the answer is I don't know. I'm sure if I was more knowledgeable in that front, then I'm sure there'll be a scientist out there that could probably explain it for me. That's
it, because you know what, we go into the realms of the philosophy of science. Science, all the scientists can do is observe and testify that which is observable. But because they can't tell you what was that singularity before the universe or why it came into existence, then the question that you need to understand, this is beyond science as well. So this is referred to as the metaphysical, the philosophy of science. So therefore I want you to think once more before you go, is that if there is no universe, it comes into existence, and everything which we can comprehend is as a result of the universe, like space, like as me and you speak, we've got space between us, we've got matter, time, energy, these are all components of the universe. So it begs the question, what caused it to come? If you say you don't know, then you've got to look at, okay, you don't know, but what are the possibilities of it coming into existence? So the possibilities I've run through with you, either it's always existed, the universe, which is, the science tells us that's not the case. Present-day science tells us that's not the case because it tells us that the universe came into existence. And then the other possibilities are, did the universe create itself, which suggests it's got a conscious mind, and it came about by nothing? But it's like saying a mother gives birth to herself. It's not analogous. It just makes no sense. So the only other possibility is something beyond the universe created the universe, and it necessitated the universe. Otherwise, there's no other explanation. If you say you don't know, that's fine, but then you look into those possibilities. So therefore, what we say, something which is beyond the universe. Do you know the universe is made up of parts? It's contingent upon parts which come together to form the whole. But the question is, what are these set of contingent things which form the whole? And hence we don't get an answer for that. Because there's something So by definition, what I'm saying is that we are left with an only palatable conclusion that there must have something must have originated it. So what we say, that must have been a creator. That's the only. Sherlock Holmes once said that whatever is left over, just say in a crime scene, and you dismiss the other possibilities, whatever's left over, that must be the truth then.
Yeah, I don't dismiss the possibilities of something else necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just not necessarily what I'm sort of a live and let live kind of person. What you believe is what you believe, and I'm happy that you
absolutely
continue on that path. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to be on potentially a separate one, you know.
No, that's fine. But like I said, I hope those points have resonated to you. So when you said earlier it's a contradiction, it's not a contradiction. Because in essence, what I've tried to show to you, so we've got a human mind, we think. So we think, okay, what are the possibilities? A universe creating itself, universe which always existed, a universe with somebody perpetuated. These are the only possibilities. There's no other logical third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh possibility. Only these are the possibilities. Either the universe came into existence by itself, meaning it just decides to pop into existence, which makes no sense because nothing is the absence of everything and anything. So nothing can get.
As I say, if I knew more of the science, I would argue my case better, but I can't. However, there are people out there that would be able to. So yeah, I think we'd have to agree to
that's fine.
disagree on
What I
that.
could do, could I offer you perhaps a copy of the Quran in English, free of charge? We're giving it to the public. As you can see, we've got literature on the table. You'd be very welcome to take a copy.
Give me the highlights.
Okay.
So you asked me what do I know about Islam, and I said not very much. So what are the core, like fundamental parts of Islam?
Okay, so the prelude that I gave, and a belief in a creator, a God. So in our paradigm, it makes no sense whatsoever that a creator has created all this gargantuan universe purposelessly, for no purpose. Surely there's a purpose behind it. So what we therefore say is that we are creation of this creator.
Yeah.
And therefore, it makes sense that a creator would want us to live a life according to the will of that creator. Because if we agree the universe came into existence, it had a creator, the creator has a purpose for us, then only naturally what will follow is what does he want from us?
Right.
Does he want us to recognize him? For example, you've got two nice eyes, you've got a nose to breathe, a mouth to eat, air to breathe, everything is conducive to life. These are what you call things which nothing can buy it. If I was to offer you £50 million for your two eyes, would you accept it? Never, would you? Because it's irreplaceable, and it's also...
There's not many things I wouldn't accept 50 million for, but not my eyes.
Precisely. But why did I say that? It's because these are a gift given to you for free. The magnificence of the way the eye is constructed. It's just unbelievable that we can see, that we can observe. I mean, just imagine having So the point I'm trying to address is therefore that whatever's given us these faculties, we need to be grateful for that creator. Now, for example, I'm assuming most people have 3 meals a day, to get by during the day. So just say you missed your first meal, just say you missed breakfast and you end up having lunch about 2 o'clock, and you go out to work in the morning, you're going to feel it, aren't you? You're going to think, oh, I'm feeling hungry, I'm feeling thirsty, and I've had no breakfast. Similarly, the soul, it craves for the creator as well. So that hence you're standing here listening, because you were about to go, but something triggered you to come back. And what we say, that's a natural inclination to know something beyond the norm. It's built in each and every one of us. Even if you're an atheist, a theist, whatever the case may be, I challenge any human who's ever lived, who's reached, just say, a particular age, just say you reach the age of puberty or adulthood. You've never ever thought, even momentarily, why am I here? Is there a God? What is the purpose of life? I don't think anyone's ever not ever thought about that. So what we therefore say is that it makes perfect sense that God is the decider upon how we should live. So Islam teaches there's only one God who is unlike his creation. God is not a man, he's not a woman, he's not an idol, he's not a statue. He is completely beyond the creation. And so that's what we say, it fits perfectly with the analogy of a creator beyond the universe, based upon the points I made earlier. So then what we say, one day we're all going to perish, we're going to be accountable for our actions on the earth, and we're going to return to that creator. Those who mock that, well, just think about one thing. The fact that we're here miraculously in itself is a huge testification that something so complex like human beings have been designed. Everything is perfectly coordinated for our existence. The sun is 93 million miles from us, which is fortunately beaming down today. Did you know if it was just a few miles further away or a few further miles in, we wouldn't be able to survive? The air that we breathe, 78% is nitrogen. If it was 0.25% less, we wouldn't be able to survive. So everything is beautifully designed for our existence. So hence what we say, we've got to give recognition to that creator. So in our paradigm, we will perish, and then we will be accountable for our actions, where God will raise us up again and judge us for what we did on the earth. So the first and foremost point, the first thing about Islam, recognizing of one God who is beyond the creation and he is not like his creation. So it's not like Christians who believe in like Jesus coming down to die for the sins of mankind. We don't believe any of that. We believe he was a messenger and a prophet who was sent by God, and that's it. No man is God. Man is not a god, woman is not a god, an idol is not a god, a statue is not a god. Just say Jesus, a man, is God, but why couldn't he come as a woman? Is that discriminating against women? So what we say, God is not like anything in creation. This is what we want people to reflect upon. As I said, one day we're all going to die, but what's the other, if you've got no belief in a creator, so everything here is purposeless. There's no essence, there's no real thinking that, you just live for the present. It's called nihilism. There is
what about the other creatures on this earth then? So we're obviously human beings, but you get animals within this same universe.
Yes.
Do you think that they've got the complexity of knowledge to understand that there is a creator, and are their lives just worthless and meaningless?
No, I don't think they're meaningless, but obviously we as humans, even various scriptures teach, we are like custodians of God's creation. We exemplify or personify God as his representatives, because he's given us faculties and abilities far beyond any other creation. You see what I mean? So animals, certainly they're sentient beings. They can feel, they are observant, but they don't have the mental capacity and the rigidity that we have, or the set methodology of our cognitive functions that they have, you see. So so we must be good to all of God's creation. So yes, certainly, but in terms of who we are as human beings, and we can only think within that paradigm. Therefore, like I mentioned, we're only on this earth for a limited period of time. Then we're no longer here, and hence we need to reflect what is our purpose. So like I said, we pray 5 times a day. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. Why? Because we've got to give credence to our Creator, who's given us everything. We should not be among the ungrateful. Like I gave you the analogy of not having a meal, like missing one of you, you're going to feel it. So the soul also craves to the Creator. Hence you're standing, listening. When you can say, thanks for your information, I'll take a leaflet and I'll read it. But you're listening because it's nothing of eloquence on my part, but rather every human being wants to hear this, you see. What do you think?
I still think what I thought when I arrived.
No, that's
I've learned a little bit more about Islam, so that's always good to take away. But
Can I give you? There's no problem. Would you like a Quran in it? I can give you a Quran.
I've got only a small bag, so.
But the bag which I will give you is very small as well. Okay, so it's a nice little small bag. We've got all the leaflets in there. Okay. Copy of the Quran. Have a good read. We're here every Saturdays from 2:30. If you want to come by it, you'll be most welcome to. Thank you so much, Sam. Good evening. Good day to you. Fantastic conversation with a pleasant lady. She was set in her ways in certain beliefs. But I think whilst I was speaking to her, some points were resonating. May Allah guide her, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.